This is how I lost -1 RR day trading EUR USD. You get straight into it, right? I had a bullish long setup. Today, a lot of people got stopped out. I saw on social media as well. It's primarily because to me, I feel like it's out of the monthly open high low close. Today's the literally last day of the open high low close concept of the monthly time frame. But I think that does have to do with his loss because the monthly needs to close in a fair price, right? This monthly time frame needs to close that reset button, right? So the next monthly opening, the next monthly candle could open, right? So, but regardless of that, we had a weekly IRL to ERL, weekly to the upside, daily IRL to ERL. That's all we had in the higher time frame as our drawn liquidity. And you see this right over here. Um, uh, when we had this, you see last week. I mean, what I wanted to say last week, as you guys see, last week we're meant to be looking for short throughout the whole week, right? As you can see, we had a shorting opportunity here. We never had another shorting opportunity, right? And this day is included. How come this day is included? Because it's the 14th of the month, and the monthly open high locals, the monthly time frame has not closed yet, so we're still looking for that retracement, right? You can see how this big bearish candle just retraced to the downside, but you know, if I add it as a rule, it's overdoing it, right? And I will definitely see it in the future. In the future, if I see this, what I'm saying, if I see myself getting stopped out one more time in the future around the last day of the open halocus concept, and I'm going against the retracement profile, I will add it as a rule. But as of right now, this is just a probability loss to me. It looks very nice as a probability loss right over here. We had a bearish order flow. The only time the bullish order flow happens is because it's out of this high. So when someone goes above that high, the order flow is gonna be bullish, right? As of right now, it's still bearish. We have a 4-hour IRL to ERL as well as a 4-hour SMT. During that Pacific time, we did have SMT. We had a 4-hour SMT as well to the upside. So looking for a near growth profile 1 on accumulation 5 impulsion expansion, right? And if there were not to be a New York, if there were not to be SMT, I would have not looked for a trade until the 9 a.m. because the 7 a.m. I mean this candle low, for New York reversal, we would need the the Asian lows to get souped and the lunch highs to get protected, or the Asian highs to get protected, right? But the lows must be souped, right? In this case, during that Pacific time, the SMT which is holding it, which had an entry right after it, so I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this trade. But without the SMT, I would have ran to the trade. I was looking for another trade right over here. There was another opportunity right over here to the long side, right, in the lower time frame. We're gonna be talking about that as well. But yeah, this is all we had, and market stopped us out right over here, which is fantastic loss, right? I like this loss. Very nice. You can see how we had an SMT divergence with the correlated pair, which is a lower time frame. And in that Pacific time, you can see we had an SMT. Well, this one supported the low, while this one did not. We had SMT divergence. Market closed above this candle, right? Full candle range. Eventually, just closed below the body. But you never tap the body. Your next candle goes above the next candle's full range. Eventually, where the candle is such a big fat candle, you want to be entering out of the threshold. The threshold is right over here, right? The threshold, and we entered there. Stop loss right below it. Take profit 1, and eventually take profit 2, right? You can see how the market did go in our favor for a little bit, eventually fully reversing. This does have to do something with the monthly open high locals concept. As I said, in the future, if I see this happening, right, where the market, where the last day of the HLC of the monthly time frame, we need to go to a fair price, because the monthly affects the weekly affects the daily affects the 4-hour, right? If the monthly needs to close in a fair price and to push down, it will highly likely make the weekly time frame to come back down. If eventually that's going to make the daily come back down, eventually that's going to make it 4-hour to come back down, right? So it's very open always in a monthly time frame. As you guys know, we use the weekly time frame, right? Says we use the weekly time frame a lot, right? As intraday traders, right, to get our high FM buys there, right? But the weekly goes based out of the monthly open high locals concept as well, right? As well as many other things, right? But it does go and use the monthly open high low close as well, right? So that as well. And you can see we had a threshold entry, market on the kind of profit here, eventually fully reverse, heading our stop loss, right? Eventually the 9 a.m. candle came around, and you can see that 8:45 was the low of this, you know what I'm saying, of this 5 a.m. CRT low. Eventually the 5 a.m. low got, first, and eventually you got another purge here. I mean, I'm pretty sure it should have been double purges here, right? It should have been double purges here. This low was not a legit low, so market should have pushed it out one more time here. Wait, what was the low of this 4 a.m. CRT, the 5 a.m. That was a low, okay. So as you can see, at this low, right over here, it was not a legit low because this other candle is from a different new candle range. Is from the 9 a.m. 4-hour candle, right? So looking for this other get soup. Eventually, once you got soup, right? Looking for a number one. And eventually looking for a higher price from here, right? You can see this number one was false. How come this number one false? Because the candle closed without the confirmation. So this model one is false. Eventually, this is the model one you will look for prolonging opportunity here, right? So this model one you completely disregard. There is no model one right over here, right? Why? 4-hour close below the other CRT, right? Without giving any confirmation. So this model one is false, and this one right over here is a real one. Eventually, but this is not this setup right over here. Even me, I would have not taken this setup. Why would I have not taken this setup? Simply because of the, the 5 a.m. CRT low not being a legit low, right? Because it is low right over here. It's not a legit low. Although saying there's a bullish candle over here. This bullish candle is from a different 4-hour candle range, and if that specific 4-hour candle range must have a legit high, legit low, right? If it does not, looking for the new 4-hour candle range to push out the low and make it push out another legit low, right? Because this happens a lot, and yeah, because markets are controlled by highs and lows. But this loss is a very beautiful loss, a probability loss, right? As you can see, this is the loss I would count as an actual loss. My rules, I did not break my rules. I followed my rules. But the only thing that we could keep in mind in here from this trade is if I do see in the future where the market time needs to close, right? Next month, let's just say next month, right? We have Monday is the last day where the market time needs to close. I see that day, I get a loss that day and I see a huge retracement, to close the monthly open high locals concept. I will definitely, add as that rule to even look for from the week all the way to until the candle closes, right? So for the monthly open high locals concept. But this is a very nice loss. Be beautiful. I feel like tomorrow should be the good day. Today we're just, I'm saying a lot of people got stopped out, even on Twitter. A lot got stopped out, but it's very, immaculate, right? But we did have a showing opportunity, right? So if we were to go out of the monthly open high locals concept to just only look for a retracement, we would have definitely had a setup to the downside from this 6 a.m. CRT. 7 a.m. purged it out to the 5-minute time frame. There was definitely an opportunity here, but you can see this opportunity right over here was, whoa, what the fuck is that high? Oh, that's a number one. Okay. Okay, so this high is not a legit high here. Market purged it out. Eventually came back down. Tried that pushing out. He does the SMT divergence. Eventually market went right back down lower. So there's SMT. This trade that short, I would have not even taken it either because there's not a legit high there, right? Because I gotta follow my rules. As long as my rule says do not do any of this, I'm not gonna do it, right? But it is what it is. Very beautiful loss. I would want to see losses like this, right? Where the market, is a probability loss, right? But yeah, we could definitely keep that, in mind. Be cautious about it. Where the next month, but we see the next month being a very, the last day being very, how can I say this? Very difficult to read. The price action as well be very, saying a retrace, right? To close the monthly open high close concept. I will definitely keep that in mind. But as of right now, it looks like to be a probability loss. Very beautiful loss. I like this loss a lot. But yeah, I'll see you guys later. Peace out. Thank you for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, share, and I'll see you guys later. Peace. Join the Discord. Link down below. Peace out.